Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Welcome to this segment of Coach Gurbani's a-sabad-a-day. We recite the 16th pauri from Gaudi Ki War, Mahalla Chotha, Guru Ramdas. And the first salok. Salok Mahalla Chotha, Jo Ninda Kare Satgur Pure Ki, So Aukha Jag Mein Hoya. ਨਰਕ ਘੋਰ ਦੁਖ ਖੂਹ ਹੈ ਉਥੇ ਪਕੜ ਉਹ ਢੋਇਆ ਕੂਕ ਪੁਕਾਰ ਕੋ ਨਾ ਸੁਣੇ ਉਹ ਔਖਾ ਹੋਏ ਹੋਏ ਰੋਇਆ ਉਹਨੇ ਹਲਤ ਭਲਤ ਸਭ ਗਵਾਇਆ ਲਾਹਾ ਮੂਲ ਸਭ ਖੋਇਆ ਉਹ ਤੇਲੀ ਸੰਦਾ ਬਲਦ ਕਰ ਨਿਤ ਭਲਕੇ ਉਠ ਪ੍ਰਭ ਜੋਇਆ ਹਰ ਵੇਖੈ ਸੁਣੈ ਨਿਤ ਸਭ ਕਿਛ ਤਿੱਦੂ ਕਿਛ ਗੁੱਜਾ ਨਾ ਹੋਇਆ ਜੈਸਾ ਬੀਜੇ ਸੋ ਲੁਣੈ ਜਿਹਾ ਪੂਰਬ ਕਿਨੇ ਬੋਇਆ ਜਿਸ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਕਰੇ ਪ੍ਰਭ ਆਪਣੀ ਤਿਸ ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਕੇ ਚਰਨ ਧੋਇਆ ਗੁਰ ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਤਰ ਗਿਆ ਜਿਉ ਲੋਹਾ ਕਾਠ ਸੰਗੋਇਆ ਜਨ ਨਾਨਕ ਨਾਮ ਧਿਆਏ ਤੂੰ ਜਪ ਹਰ ਹਰ ਨਾਮ ਸੁਖ ਹੋਇਆ ਮਹੱਲਾ ਚੌਥਾ ਵਡਭਾਗੀਆਂ ਸੁਹਾਗਣੀ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਗੁਰਮੁਖ ਮਿਲਿਆ ਹਰ ਰਾਏ ਅੰਤਰ ਜੋਤ ਪ੍ਰਗਾਸਿਆ ਨਾਨਕ ਨਾਮ ਸਮਾਏ ਪੌੜੀ ਇਹੋ ਸਰੀਰ ਸਭ ਧਰਮ ਹੈ ਜਿਸ ਅੰਦਰ ਸੱਚੇ ਕੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਜੋਤ ਗਹਿਜ ਰਤਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਲੁਕ ਰਹੇ ਕੋਈ ਗੁਰਮੁਖ ਸੇਵਕ ਕੱਢੈ ਖੋਤ ਸਭ ਆਤਮ ਰਾਮ ਪਛਾਨਿਆ ਤਾਂ ਇੱਕ ਰਵਿਆ ਇੱਕੋ ਓਤ ਪੋਤ ਇੱਕ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਇੱਕ ਮੰਨਿਆ ਇੱਕੋ ਸੁਣਿਆ ਸ਼ਰਵਣ ਸਰੂਤ ਜਨ ਨਾਨਕ ਨਾਮ ਸਲਾਹ ਤੂੰ ਸੱਚ ਸੱਚੇ ਸੇਵਾ ਤੇਰੀ ਹੋਤ The subject of Ninda, a nindak, a slanderer, a backbiter, continues in this passage that gives us an idea of the degree of opposition that Guru Ramdas encountered during his time, and also a warning to us that this is one of the core vices that afflict us as human beings. Gossip, backbiting, and jealousy, wanting to possess the other. This is the core of our ego. And so the Guru says, Jo Ninda Kare Satgur Pure Ki, so aukha jag mein hoya. So Ninda here is one who discredits the perfect Guru wisdom, faces hardships in the world. In other words, such an individual is going to be ego-driven and therefore miserable. Narak kor dukh khoo hai, uthe pakad oh toya. So narak kor, intense, darkness, hellish. That is the kind of place hell is, and that is where such a person is driven into when that person is caught, pakad, which suggests upon death, such a person is caught and driven into the dark well of hell and misery. Now, this is obviously a metaphor of the state of mind of such an individual who is bereft or devoid of Guru wisdom. And not only that, but kuk pukar ko na sune, oh aukha hoye hoye roya. Kuk pukar, cries for help, will go unheard. Kuk pukar ko na sune. No one is going to hear your wails there. O okha hoye hoye roya. Troubled is such a mind, crying in pain. And what has this mind accomplished, this individual with that mind, which is essentially most of us? Oni halat palat sab gavaya. Halat palat, the present, and what could have been possible. So you've missed the opportunity and you've let whatever you had in your hand go. You've been deprived, in other words, only halat palat sab gavaya. You've been deprived of all hope and you've missed out on the opportunity to discover your essence. Sab gavaya laha mool sab khoya. So you've lost your essence. And how have you lived life? Like a bull yoked to an oil presser. Oh teli sanda baldakar. So the bull is yoked to an oil presser and basically goes around and around with his eyes blindfolded. And that's what it does all day. This is a metaphor for the egoic mind being blinded by its ego, by its worldview, if you will, by cultural worldviews. And so you're caught and you repeat yourself constantly. We are all robotic to a degree, the conditioned mind. That's what happens. You're like a bull yoked to an oil presser. And the problem is the oil doesn't really belong to you. So the Creator ties such a person to the cycle of birth and death. That is the other pointer here. Nit palke ut prab joya ties you. Har vekhe sune nit sab kich. The Har Self hears and watches everything at all times. Tiddu kich gujja na hoya. Nothing remains concealed from the Creator. So beware, you're being watched at every instant. And the watch comes from within you, by the way. Jaisa bija so lune, jeha purab kine boya. You receive in the future the fruit of what was sown in the past. That is the law. That is the way things are. Because you are, in fact, creating your future by your present actions. So we need to learn good wisdom, which comes with grace. Jis kripa kare prab apani, tis Satgur ke charan toya. Charan toya, washing the feet. But here it's an indicator of inculcating good wisdom. Those who are graced by the Creator get to learn from good wisdom. Gur Satgur piche tar gaya, jo loha kaath sangoya. Like a piece of iron attached to wood will float in water, otherwise it'll drown. We are like that iron magnet which cannot swim across the sea of existence. So we attach ourselves to the ship of good wisdom. So this is the metaphor. And the conclusion of the first salok, Jan Nanak naam te aaye tu, jap har har naam sukh hua, naam te aaye tu. Self-knowledge is your salvation. Tranquility of the mind is achieved through self-realization. The second salok, Vadabhagya Suhagani. Greatly fortunate is the Suhagani. A Suhagan is one whose husband is alive. In other words, one who is married. So the metaphor here is that the individual who has found union with the self is greatly fortunate. Vadabhagya Suhagani. Jina Gurmukh Milaya Hararai, who have found that union through Gur wisdom. Antar Jot Pragasiya Nanak Naam Samai. So in these individuals, the inner light is illumined. The intellect is enlightened. And now absorption in self-knowledge is complete, samai. And in the Pauri, the Guru reminds us and instructs us, "Eh sareer sab dharam hai." This body is the ground of dharam. In other words, this body is the expression of the self in time and space. This is the ground in which we have to find self-realization. Jis andar sache ki vich jyot, and within the body is the light of the self. What does that mean? The knowledge of the self. Gahaj ratan vich luk rahe, koi gurmukh sevak kadde khot. So ensconced within the body are hidden priceless gems of knowledge. If only one learns to extract them. And extraction requires specialized tools. So the tools here is the tool of Gur wisdom. Gurmukh sevaka kadde khot. The wisdom of the Guru is the tool that you need. And then sab atam ram pachhaneya ta ek ravya eko ot pot. Then you have the discernment of the qualities of the atam, the self that is pervasive. And you find that the self, the essence of the self is woven. In fact, the self is the essence. The self is consciousness. It is the warp and woof of existence. It is woven into the fabric of the universe. Ik dekhya, ik mannaya, ikko sunaya sravan sarut. And then the perception of oneness becomes reality. The acceptance of oneness is reality. And then one is guided by the wisdom of the Guru. Jan Nanak naam salahitu, sach sache seva teri hot. So therefore, says Nanak, serve the self. How do you do that? You do that by being guided by Guru wisdom. So Guru wisdom is the key, regardless of how bad things are, regardless of how robotic you are in your habits, regardless of where you stand, Guru wisdom will show you the way. On that note, until the next time, Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.